Hi, my name is Justin Frye. I'm the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach at UCLA football. Here today to talk a little bit about just the generic principles of our double teams and some tools that we use both on the inside zone and outside zone way. You'll hear me talk about, so I have the first title slide here, we talk a lot about angle of departure, okay? But all the base fundamental principles are the same for us, right? We want to move the downs and snap late to the linebackers. We want to get the play started at the first level first, and then get to the second level of the backers, however they present themselves. And that all is predicated on the angle of departure, style of play, pace of back, where the back's in the backfield. We coach and teach those. Okay? So hopefully there's some tools here today you can get and look at these, just in some generic principles that we talk about that are everyday drills that become more game plan specific. But all we're really trying to do is just build the toolbox for the kids. Right? And so that's why I think it's important, whether you get spring ball, whether you get fall camp, whether you get summer OTAs, you've got to come back to those base fundamentals so that the kids can continue to build from that base foundation and then understand when I have to pull what tool from what toolbox at what time based off style of play, run, down and distance, any of those things that fit into it here. Okay, so we're going to talk a lot about the angle of departure in regards to this as we talk. First thing we get into is just the generic principles of the double team, right? So everybody's done this. I was coached this way. This is nothing that was invented by me, right? I was coached this way. I've coached kids this way. But I think, once again, it's really important to get back to the base fundamental generic principles so the kids understand the why of what we're doing and not just, well, I'm going to tag block or deuce block on this one because that's what you said, coach. The understanding of why that tool is important to use at that time is good for the kids if you coach this way, right? So both down linemen, obviously we want to get hip to hip, okay? We want to have 4 eyes on the linebacker when we can. Okay, the down lineman to the side of the linebacker then will snap off. That's the guy that delivers the double team as we talk. The guy on the trail side or the back side of that is the takeover guy, okay? Generically, you want to step with your linebacker side foot first, and the other guy wants to step with his inside foot first to take that block over so it can be delivered. Okay, so we just teach off these 4 base pictures, right? So starting here, if I got a true stack, I got a down lineman and a stack bird behind. We're not sure which way this backer is going to go. So us two are working a mate block here, a combo. We're going to jam step, meaning near foot together, right? Lifting, moving the down, and then once that linebacker takes you off, that's the guy that delivers the down and goes, and the trail guy is the one that goes and takes it over, okay? If you get the offset here, now you've got the down and the backer's offset here. The guy on the right side then is just going to be right-left. Okay, he's right-left looking to move the down, deliver the down to the backside guy, and then the trail guy's going to take the block over. Okay, if you look at the bottom picture here, the backer's offset to the left now. Now he can be left-right, deliver the down and snap to the backer, while the trail guy takes the block over. All based off of leverage of the double team. Okay, you've got one where one guy's completely uncovered and another guy's covered. We still want to be in combo calls here, so now we just wedge, check the near knee, make sure no color comes back, and then works 90, takes over the second level, and then I've got a sideboard because I'm protected here with the combo call. So working your different stacks and just teaching these generic fundamentals of, we got to move it down, we got to deliver that down to the guy that's taking over when we snap to the backer, and then the tools and the timing that are really, really important. This is something that we go into studies and every offseason we come right back to. So a freshman comes in, he's hearing it for the first time. A sophomore's been there, he comes in, he's hearing it for the third time, right? You're trying to progress that fundamental toolbox for all of those guys, right? But it's a good starting point just to come back to the generic principles of the double team. Yeah. Okay. This first thing we're going to get into, right, that's just generically for us inside zone, right, as we've talked before. I got to understand the path of the running back, right, and then understand the tempo of the run and the angle of the run here. So if you're working inside zone and your aiming point's that inside leg of the guard or play side hip guard, or play side hip of the center, excuse me, right? That's a downhill fast hitting play, right? So my track of ball is going to be more vertical, and that thing's going to work A gap to possible jump cut to the backside A to backside B. Once again, I think it's really important to teach this to your kids now because they need to understand if the back's going to look like this, and that's the pass, my double teams need to not match that naturally, and then the flow of these linebackers will predicate that, right? So you're playing a team where their linebackers stand toes at 4.5, and they're more lateral and downhill than the backside guard and tackle in a combo. He knows how much help he's going to get from the deliver of the guard working to the linebacker, right? So teaching, once again, just the generic principles and fundamentals of it's very, very important, right? Hip to hip, okay? It's literally that. We go back to fundamentals as we teach. Okay, you put two guys together here, have just a flat shield bag there in between, so they want to feel the squeeze and the hip to hip where they're working butt to butt. I got 4 eyes on the linebacker, and we're just going to lift and work the down. So this is a good non-contact, good off-season, good fall camp drill that we do. Once again, we start spring ball, start summer OTAs, doing this year-round at the beginning to get the foundation of what we really want in a double team. We want to move the downs, right? We want to handle the first level first before we get in a big hurry to get to the second level. Okay, so we got a shield in between here. I'm just standing at linebacker depth, and as you watch here, all we want to do is have the guys feel that we're really lifting the down, eyes on the backer, and then just point. Once they point, you can see here now Sean is giving a little bit of the ball to the shoulder to deliver it. He's going to snap off to the backer, and then now he's the trail guy, so he's the takeover based off the fit. Okay, then you put them into stance. So now they're in a 3-point stance. It's the same drill, it's the same thing we talked about in that first picture, right? I've got my down and my backers stacked directly behind me, right? So we want to move the down, lift the down, and then once that backer comes off one way or the other, that's then my deliver guy, and the other guy is the takeover guy. Okay, so we step into it. You got to have an assistant, the coach, somebody do it where they move with it a little bit, but now that shield's back in between their hips. So now we're working hip to hip, we're square, we got a good base, we're lifting, moving it down, and then you just point again. Once I point again, there's the deliver, and there's the takeover. Okay? The last thing that we get into, I think, is really important too, is you get into drill tempos. And a good way to mix it up, just lean on them. You can put a defensive guy there. I like to do this early on. I like to be hands-on with the guy. I like coaching them and teaching them that way so they can feel it. But now you put the pad in between their hip, and then you're just hanging down and leaning on them so that they have to force themselves now to stay in their legs, stay in the technique, lifting their lower body, and moving the down with their body while we're staying square and hip to hip. So just lean on them heavy, squeeze. So now it's a little more resistance for them so that we're not assing back, we're not leaning in the hole, and then just break away one way. So now I break away this way, there's the takeover, there's the delivery. He's going to run to the second level to the linebacker. All right, so just a good hip-to-hip drill that we work year-round in every phase of football, okay? Then you get into flipper progression. So now what are we working? We're working that next picture. So in this one here, we're offset. So there's the down. Here would be my other trail guy, and the backer's somewhere in here. So we're going to go left, right, flipper. When we flipper, we're looking to pop through, spin the shoulders of the down. You don't want to hang and drift on it because that's when you get held, that's when you get pulled off, right? So we start base guys that come in, they work a flipper, and I'm going to go left, right, or right, left, and flipper through and spin the shoulders of this down, and I'm trying to really pry through that thing and not lean on it, right? Just like we were doing in the lift hip-to-hip drill. What do you do here is a nice little easy one we get into. I just take a flat pad and lean on him, right? And then 2 whistles, so it's a nice progression for this. So he's going to go up and down with his left foot and then puncture 90 with his right foot, and we don't want to bleed on the double team. So if this was a center, working inside zone to the left, and I know the ball's vertical, I want to help on a shade, I may lift the shade with the guard coming to me. If this is a right guard, working it to with this 3 technique here, and he's going to be left, right, flipper through, and the tackle's going to take it over. If this were a tackle and a tight end. So once again, just teaching generic principles of now, I'm the deliver guy of the double team. I've already got the leverage of the backers pre-aligned inside of me. I'm now going to be left, right, flipper looking to deliver this thing here. And all he's doing here is just throwing the flipper, trying to spin it, and then I just like to lean on him, give him some friction so that they feel the base and then ready to snap to the backer. Not in a big hurry to get to the second level. We got to handle the first level first, okay? Big coaching point. So here, angle departure as he's working. He'd be working a linebacker here, so I'd be left, right, flipper, and then ready to snap because the guy's staying at depth. Okay. Another way we get into it now, the speed, right? Jam, snap. So that flipper there is you got backers that may be a little lateral, maybe some gap exchange world, whatever that tool is. Now you've got some downhill fast flowing backers, right? You're in a short yardage situation. You're running a gap scheme or a duo. You could use this as the same deal here too, right? But just teaching a different tempo of I have a flipper or I need to be jammed and ready to snap. I still want to handle the first level first. I still want to move the downs. So that's the critical part of this, and that's why we tag this one jam snap. Okay? You drill this thing 2 ways, right? Okay? So you can do it where it's near foot, where I'm just jam snapping. So now we're going to near foot. You can see it's lifting and spinning the shoulders here on the crowler, and then I'm ready to snap to a backer that's a fast fill guy right now. So I can't get hung up on that down, right? I've got to be in it where I'm either near foot through and gone, just getting the thing started for the trail guy, or it could be a quick outside inside jam and then working almost like a ricochet technique that we'll get into in wide zone. Okay? But working this on the crowler is good. Lift it, spin the shoulders, staying square, and then ready to drive. I'll get back to the sled here in a minute. All right, so now we come back to it. So I think this is a really good clip. I watched his pad level. He's lifting through the crowler. He goes near foot on it, trying to deliver it, and then ready to snap to the backer. Okay, I don't love this because he's not through it. He's kind of jamming to it. So now I'm going to get penetrated here. I really want to jam and then snap with some urgency and not ready to catch the second level, but to deliver that down as I'm attacking the second level linebacker. Right, so that's when we do that on the crowler. You just put the guy up. Now you just take it and replace it with a person. Right, so this is a nice little progression for us that we use. Right, now you've got, there's the down. He's going to jam and then snap and just creep the linebackers up. That's what we do. Give them something, a surface to hit and strike. Give them the tempo of what we have to be working. And why we're using this tool is, you play a team of linebackers, though they play at 3 yards instead of to throws at 4.5. Right? It's 3rd and 2, and you're anticipating run throughs. But I can't just run by the down to get to a linebacker. I still got to get the thing started. So the jam snap tempo really helps, where I can near foot and then snap to the backer. All right, you're watching here. Good to the near foot, a little high, but I'm still square. I'm still trying to get the play started, and then able to cover this thing up as we work. Okay, same deal here. I don't want to push away. I want to spin those shoulders. I want to be heavy and violent through as I step, jam, get it going, and then get it off, so I can really stop that charge of that down. Is it a tight 3 technique? Are they playing the jam technique? Are they playing through the V of the neck? Is it a 9 jam C? Whatever the technique of the defensive guy, you got to have this tool in the toolbox so that you're not always inside outside and then getting a double team bled on you. All right, and then lastly, you just put it all together. So now this is a quick, he felt like he was deep enough, so he went left, right, and then he's ready to snap right now. So this is a jam snap tempo for him, even though he took it off his inside because the backer was backed up a little bit, but he's filling downhill right now. All right, so just drilling, drilling, drilling. Okay, so yeah, this is a good side profile to it. As we come back here, you watch the right guard, but we're going to double. We're going to work a backside combo here, block to this guy. He can kind of see the levels creeping. He's up, so it's going to be quick. It's going to be a left-right flipper and then snap. But it still gives me enough to spin the shoulders of the 3 technique. So what we're looking for really here, right, is we don't want the line of scrimmage dead. Right? That's common sense football. You don't move the line of scrimmage one way or the other. That's how you win the game. We're just looking to keep the line of scrimmage here and allow the back to press and make a cut. Right? So as you watch here, the right guard. Got good leverage. He's going to be left, right, but as he sees the levels and he starts creeping, now I turn into snap tempo. So I know I got to be quick, but I can't leave the 3 technique. So it's going to be left, right, flipper, spin the shoulders, gives the tackle a chance to get over the board and take it over, and then snap to it and keep running our feet. And then there's the wall, so it allows the back for a good upcut. Okay, so good jam snap tempo there on a backside combo. Right. This one here now is the same. You have a little more time, but we do by game plan here, right? That their boss, both the backers, he knew somebody's filling, so he's going to go inside, outside, but he's ready to snap off. We're not just lifting and waiting. So here he's going to go right, left, spin the shoulders, keeping the inside hand out of there, and then go and snap and accelerate to the safety that's downhill. Because the safety of the corner, somebody had to become the new C-gap defender right here, the B-gap defender, excuse me. So he snaps and then allows the back to cut through on this thing. Right? So just the tempo and the timing. You get generic, but then you build off of that. You give them all tools as to what they can get into and where they can go. And when they need to pull them out, that's based off angle of departure, timing of where the backer is, where the secondary support is, whomever they're working to. Okay? Up and in the hip knock. This is a good tempo drill. This is a good technique that I've just grown and grown and grown with this over the years as we get into. The up and in is simply, though, really good in any type of inside zone. Really good, like I said, if you're a power team, you're a gap team, you get some form of levels, you get some form of pressure, and you know the front's moving, but you're not sure where. The worst thing that happens is guys false step, they turn, and we get turned, and now we can't stay square, and we bleed or we lose a block. So we've gone to the up and in technique, and just like I said, grown this over and over, where we're talking 1, 2, 3. I'm getting my 3rd step up and in. If I'm color away to me, and there's something there, then we say we look to hip knock and lift it across. But that 3rd step, I still want to puncture and get vertical. I don't want to bleed, right? If I go up and in and I step and cock and color comes to me, then I'm square and I can put 2 in and drive block it. I don't have to be in catch mode, or I don't have to be turned and then get spun back around. So just a really good tool for your guys to make sure that they're maintaining their square pad level when shit's hitting the fan, right? You're getting, like I said, levels, you're getting an internal cross dog, you're getting plugs, you're getting the front return. Good little tool for your uncovered guy to use here. So there's some ways we drill it, right? First thing we do is we talk about 3 steps. So I'm looking at his lower body right now. He's playing too high, and we'll get to the shoot here in a second. But it's 1, gallop, 2, 3. That's the step that has all the answers. On my third step, if there's a little bit of color, then I'm going to flipper, knock it, and climb. I'm going to lift and hip knock it and climb and get vertical and snap to the second level, snap into the linebackers. That's what we're looking to do. So you just put a bag holder here, you put him a little yard and a half off of it, and then, like I said, put it on a line so he can target going up and in. That's what we talk about. We don't want to be flat. I want to go up and in, gaining ground on the thing. Okay? Third step, puncture and then vertical. All right, now we're going to the left. You watch his lower body, watch his lower half right here as we go. I'm going 1, 2, third step. Now he gets overextended. I don't like this, right? We want to stay lower. This is why you start teaching it here, and then you can get to the pad level in the chutes like we have later, right? But really looking at the lower body. 1, 2, 3, that's my answer step. There's color to hip knock, I got it. Color comes to me, I take it over. If there's nothing, then I'm going to plant and drive and go vertical to the backer. So now how do you do that? We just work here. 1, 2, 3, there's nothing. Now I'm vertical up the board, I want to go snap and drive the linebacker. Okay, but we're looking at the lower body with the steps. All right, so I'm up and in. It's the left tackle here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again, why do you use this? We like this when movement, pressure, right? Double uncovered. You get a team that's playing G's and 7s, and I'm a tackle. I don't want to turn and vacate and run away and hurt the tight end. I don't want to be slow and get beat inside, so I can stay nice and square, up and in, and then work vertical or snap back to my work, wherever it may be. It just fights to keep you square through the block, right? Get him in the chutes. Now we do it in the chutes, okay? Put the shield right here, as you can see. Put this on his hip. Give him a nice little target. It's a little hat target. So now as you count the steps, it's 1, 2, 3. I don't need to overstride. I just need to be underneath me so I can snap and lift it and then go drive the linebacker, okay? So we're working 1, 2, 3 hip knocks on this. Another good one here. This is pretty good here. 1, 2, 3, snap, and then drive vertical. Okay, tight ends get into it. So you'll see it here. This is good, like I said, a tight end. We do a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of tight end wing, doing whatever you're doing. It's another good one for the tight ends because they can be double uncovered sometimes. You got a 3 and a 9, you got a 4 eye and an overhang and an odd, spacing front, whatever the case may be. Good little tool for them. 1, 2, 3, snap the hip, and then climb to the backer. All right? Then you put in drill phase. So here it is. We're just working tackles and tight ends right now. I've got a 4 eye. I've got a backer inside. Somebody's got to come back to me. So I don't need to turn and run and lose this. So you're going to watch him here. I'm going to step up and in. There's his first step. That near knee is where we're having our eyes go. So put your eyes on the near knee. If you're the uncovered guy in step and I go up and in and that near knee comes to me, then that block's coming to me. That's going to be my block. So I'm going to go from hip knock mode to now 2 in and square. That's my block. The tackle knows he's protected. He steps and it goes away. We're right back into flipper mode like we've done. Now he's delivering eyes inside, and then he's going to snap off and fill on the filling linebacker late. Okay, so just another good tool to have in your toolbox for uncovered guys, covered guys, movement, inside zone, whatever it may be. Like I said, powers, counters, any gap schemes. This is a really good tool for it. All right, now we go here. 1, 2, 3. He's got nothing. The 4 eye stayed inside. The overhang's here. Now the backer's going to scrape. He can plant vertical. 1, 2, 3, and snap and drive vertical on this. So we're having a chance where if the color comes to me, I'm good. If the color kind of hangs, I can hip knock and climb like we did in the chute. Or now I go 1, 2, 3, color goes away, just snap vertical to the backer. Got a couple of good clips of this here. So the generic part of it is what I'm really into, right? The time to task. Okay? You just saw tight ends, you saw tackles, you saw guards, you saw centers. Everybody uses this tool at some point. You just need to know when to pull it out, right? So we're running here. We've got versus a 3 down front with a 0 and 2 4 eyes. So this is what the tight ends were drilling. Now it's just a 0 nose instead of a 4 eye. But the guards were just working this over the board. So Paulie's going to be 1, 2, 3 looking to hip knock. If there's color hanging, he's banging it across, and we're working all the way across to number 8 here. The tight end tackle combo is working here to this inside linebacker behind the flagpole. Okay, so as he steps, you watch both these guys. We'll run it a couple times. The guard's going to go up and in. 1, 2, 3. There's third step. He didn't come to me, but there's color hanging, so I'm going to knock the hip across. And now I'm still in a good base where I can climb vertical. And I'm not turned and bleeding. He's able to puncture this thing back vertical and seal off the backside backer. The tight end's doing the same thing now. As you watch him, 1, 2, 3. He sees a little color. He's going to bang it. But his third step, that's your indicator step. Now I know I got to puncture and not bleed, and then he can go snap to the backside linebacker. So really good timing by these two guys as we're working these angles of departure right here. to these combos. All right, so they both got a piece of the hip. Now you come back to the next clip. All right, a few plays later, same looking deal. Still getting a hip knock by the guard through the center. 1, 2, 3. There's the square. I like that. He's delivering, and then he can snap back vertical. So you see, right there, the third step, there's no more bleeding. Now he's in it, and he punctures the thing back vertical. That's what we're really looking for, right? The tight end goes 1, 2, 3. Now color's completely gone, so look at his demeanor, right? His foot's in the ground, and now he's going to snap vertical. The guy's there, so he's under balance, or he's under balance before he gets the contact, and he knocks it off. Okay? So it gives us a good chance in a short yardage play here to handle the movement, creating a double team, even though we're not really in a double team profile of a G, a shade, a gap player, his head up. The third step, hip knock and vertical, allows us to build a good wall and have a winning angle of departure as we get this thing knocked across, still creating that double team. Good clip here. Got a bunch of different clips of this. You can see where this tool comes in, right? Now we talked about when the color comes to us. I'm going to be up and in, 1, 2, 3. On my second step, I see that the color's working to me late. He's then going to be 2 in and drive this. Okay, so as you watch the guard here, it's 1, 2. He feels like color's to him, so now he's 2 in. Guy wants to swim off. The center's working his way across. And now we're able to keep our feet and drive, and then there's the crease as it slides back out from the A gap to the B gap. Right? If you look at the tight end, we don't love it here. Right? This was 2 years ago, so we just showed a clip of Mike doing it really well. Now he's running away. This would be a prime deal to either be left-right flipper because he knows he's comboing here, or if he felt like this 4-eye was working out, then he would be 1, 2, 3, check the near knee, nothing, then he can puncture vertical. But that gives you body presence and keeps you square for the fullback coming out of the backfield, as opposed to turning the shoulders away and it kind of short necks the end a little bit. Another good clip here. So as we said, now the center can use it. So now the center and the left guard are comboing all the way out to the back or here. I don't need to be in a big hurry. Right? I have a G. I want to be up and in and square, and I'm thinking now I could possibly deliver this G across to the guard for when the backer falls back door, because we know by angle of departure we're working this backside A gap. Okay? So the tool in his toolbox is he's saying I can use up and in, try to knock him across and have my eyes to my backer to my work. As you watch the work, he goes 1, 2, 3 up and in. The G goes away, but the backer doesn't come back. So because of the third step, you get him 1, 2, 3. He's still squared. He's got time. If he's plugging and he's across, now he can turn and just wall this thing off. So I'm not turned. He has no threat of losing the guy over the top. You can see another jam snap tempo of the guard. He's a little high, getting out of control, but there's the left-right jam snap right now. Backer's throwing back door, okay? And then that allows the back to press and slide and to get vertical on this thing. Okay, so we've seen the up and in hip knock with a tight end. We've seen the up and in hip knock with a guard with color going away. We've seen up and in hip knock with color hanging, he bangs it across and climbs. Now we see it here, where the guard goes away. I don't love his pad level in this clip, but you can still watch his third step. All right, young freshman here. 1, 2, 3, it goes away. Now he knows I got to get vertical. I can't bleed. So that allows him to get vertical. Then we press the backside, and then now he's not losing this guy back over the top. He knows angle of the ball is vertical. It's an inside hitting play. It's going vertical. He knows he doesn't want to lose this guy inside, so we're trying to create the double team as he goes up and in. Now what I'd really like to see here, we got him cleaned up more as you get going, is that goes away. Puncture that thing vertical now, and maybe he gets a little flipper through snap on this, and it doesn't hang the tackle out to dry as much. Okay, tight end's a little better here, square 1, 2, 3, but we're square at the second level because of the third step up and in technique. All right, here's a good one here. We're getting a lot of field pressure. All right, so we know it's going to return. We know the front's returning. All I need to do on this is stay square. How far back is this nose going to go? Well, he tries to stay inside, but I've got my legs underneath me, and now he can drive this thing across, and then it still allows us to hit the A gap. Right? So this is up and in, anticipating movement. The guy moves and then repenetrates, so now I can rebite back square. Okay? But all the 1, 2, 3, get that third step in the ground. I'm 2 in, and now just run my legs and drive block. Okay? Here's a little up and in. We knew the movement was coming, so he goes 1, 2, 3. It goes away. Now he just flippers vertical. So there's the ass of the double team. He's a little turned, but he's under control, getting ready to accelerate. Okay? Good technique, good fundamentals for us. Allows us on a short yardage to hit this thing back up inside. All right, so that was inside zone as we talked, right? So tools in the toolbox, right? You have your regular flipper, you have your regular double team as you do. Then we've got our jam snaps, we have our up and in and square. Where do they use those? That's up to the kids. That's why I think it's really important, as I said, you teach the style of play, the track of ball, the pace of the back, the action, any of those things, as much as you can give them to where they know, if us two have those two, how do I handle the first level first? How thick, how thin, how much can I give? Can I be 2 in? Can I be 1 in? Can I be 1 in and lift? Can I be 1 in and jam? Whatever the tempo, the situation is really, really important to talk to these guys about, right? Now we get into the stretch zone or the outside zone. I think it's just as important now, right? Stretch, for us, now you're stretching, your landmark is the butt of the tight end or the ghost tight end. Some people are outside leg of the tackle. Wherever you move that landmark, that's the path of the back. Now he's reading that back, that outside first down lineman on the end of the line of scrimmage. This one's a little darker here because the path is supposed to take us there, but this play, as we teach it, is more a stretch and puncture. Okay? If you get the edge, then he'll take it. But now the understanding of the offensive line is really critical. I'm looking at this picture of the left tackle, and I'm saying, all right, I'm blocking this defensive end. He's that gap defender. He has to stay contained. So as I go to run, whether I use my find it footwork or whether I use my wedge crotch, wedge heel, running to get nose up on him, as he stretches, I don't have him reached. I don't want to keep running and get run by and get thrown by the defensive end, and he comes back inside and makes the play. So we'll teach a stretch and eject technique. Understanding, once again, path of the back, tempo of the play, where you're at in relation to it, how these guys are going to react. I'm saying I'm trying to get to his armpit, but I'm not going to run myself out of the play and get bit back in because I understand it's a stretch and puncture play, and it's not circle the defense to the sideline. Okay? Same being here with the down lineman on the inside. I know it's stretch. I know I'm out leveraged here, but I still got to get the play started. I can't just run away from the down on an angle, just blindly running because the back's going outside. Path of ball, track of ball, location of backer to the ball, all predicated on your angle departure, how much help you can give, how much thick you are, how thin you are, what techniques you use, do you lock, do you pin, do you pull, all those things is all based off the generic teaching of stretch zone, path of the back, and where he's looking to hit. Okay, so we teach that just like we do on the inside zone. You look at this now, the first thing we get into is just Rico. Like I said, when do we Rico on a stretch zone? You know, some people would say don't work back when it's an outside zone. When I have a winter angle, so we're running stretch this way. We're comboing here to here. I don't need to aimlessly run here if the back's behind me. I have a little time and distance to Rico and get it started so that I create a winter leverage for the guy trying to cut it off and get to the play side armpit of the inside guy, the combination block, right? So we just call Rico as getting it started. So he's going to near foot it, get it started, just like we were kind of doing on the jam snap, but now I know my angle has to be more violent of departure because he is going to flow over the top. So I have winter leverage, why not get the play started, but then don't be shallow and lose him over the top if I can still get back to the outside armpit. Right, so we just work a little Rico drill here. You can work that. That's a center, or excuse me, a guard on a G working with a center. That could be a tackle working a 4-eye with a guard to the play side. But once again, right, back to base generic principles. We want to move the downs, snap to the backers. On a stretch play, the movement of the downs is going to be a little wider. Inside zone, it's going to be a little more vertical, but we still want to get the thing started by moving the downs and handling the downs first. That's why we teach the Rico technique. Okay, so as you go here, you look at right now, we're going to use it on the right side. So we're running out of the pistol, we're just running stretch. Everybody knows stretch. I don't need to run away and let him penetrate up the field and then violently make that upcut happen. I don't need to do that. I can Rico and get it started here. Now, I give the guys here, I don't get too over the top with it. If he wants to near foot and then go, great. If he feels like he was inside and he wants to go right, left, I'm good that way. But we got to get this thing started. So here it allows us to get the 4-eye reach by the 3 technique because that's a loser leverage block. Him trying to reach the 4-eye is a loser leverage block. That's a long way to go. But I have winter leverage because I'm trying to reach and get to the armpit of the second level defender. So I have time and distance. I'm going to handle the first level first. So he just goes right, left with the Rico. And then now he's squared back up. Now he doesn't have him reached. So I just run him out. And then there's the upcut. So we're able to get this thing going on the rebite. There's a stretch and the puncture. We'll cover the backside here in a little bit. We're a little sloppy on the backside, right? But you can see getting it started. There's the stretch, and then there's the upcut and the puncture, and it's not a bend back, right? So it gives us a chance to get a good hit there versus a 4-eye, okay? You get lined up now. The center and the left guard are working to 41. We know that by our combo call. So now I know I'm protected, but I'm really kind of thinking man because that guy's mugged up. Maybe it's a bear look, maybe it's a plug look, right? So the left guard understands that us two have these two. So he goes to run. It's a short yardage deal. As he goes to step away, right, the whole front doesn't return. He gets his eyes back inside and he's not in a big hurry. He ends up taking the backside guard over the top because once again, I think as we coach angle departure, he's not just aimlessly running. We're working the fit. We know us two are working here and there's an internal game. He steps to make sure nothing comes back and then his eyes go back inside and we're able to seal this thing off. This was a big fourth down hit for us here, right? But all we're talking about now is angle departure. Before in the last clip, we had a 4-eye. We had to get him started. Now this guy's running inside and something's replacing. He's not just running away. He's understanding the angle of departure, the track of the ball, track of the back, and the situation allows us to hit this right here. Okay. Other thing we get into, you're the cover guy. I talked about the tackle and the still picture, right? We talk about stretch and eject, right? I need to get stretch, but then I need to eject. I don't want to disengage and be body off body. We want to coach and we teach staying body off body. So I want to lift, try to put my inside hip on the block, and continue to run my feet. Because the moment you extend away, then a lot of your momentum goes back to brace. We want to just keep climbing and working with our feet. So we call it stretch and then lift and eject. And we just try to tight that elbow to our rib cage, put the inside hip on the defender, and continue to run him past the hole because I know, once again, I'm working a 5 technique as a tackle. I have a wide 3 technique as a guard. I'm going to stretch him. I don't have him reached. Well, if I don't have him reached, the back's not going outside. Where's he going to go? He's going to upcut and puncture behind me. So I need to keep him out there and eject and run him by. I don't need to stay flat and keep running with him because at some point the D lineman is going to see it's inside, put his foot in the ground, throw me by, and then fall back inside and make the play. So if we can stay body on body and I keep our feet running, that'll keep broadening that chute for the back to hit when he hits his puncture. All right, so we just talk about for the man guy, the covered guy, whether you're protected or unprotected, we teach stretch and eject. So just break it down this way. I put these guys like they've gone wedge and they've gone crotch or they've gone through the heel. Okay, the guy, I'm nose up to him, maybe I'm a little shallow on him. So I'm 2 steps into the block. I don't have leverage. So now what do I want to do? I need to stretch him and then eject. So now you can see him here kind of lifting, keeping body on body. I don't want to extend. Once again, I don't want to press away and extend because now I'm putting my ass back in the hole. I want to lift and run my feet and accelerate and run them by the hole. Okay, so we just work the stretch and eject drill. Okay, I think we got a clip here. Where we at? Yeah, so you watch the right tackle here. We get a little chip to get the thing started because he's so wide. But he knows just by alignment, I'm not reaching that guy. I still got to run. I still got to go, right? He's going to work a little find-up footwork to stay square to make sure it's good. But once he's nose up on that guy, then I'm going to run my feet and run his ass out so the ball can cut up behind me. Okay? Then just stem the front on us late. So right now he's thinking it's just him, man. He's 1, 2, 3, he's nose up. He doesn't have him, and he knows the tempo of the play. So watch him now as he's running, gluing his body, lifting, and then keeps it extending the edge so the back can stretch and puncture, and then he slides back out of it. What you don't want to do is stop in the hole and turn, and now that back has nowhere, and you've caged the back in. We want to keep that front moving, but I know, once again, I don't have him reached. I'm going to keep washing them, but I'm going to maintain my winner leverage now because I know where the back's going. I understand track of ball. I understand what we're trying to do in the play. That's a critical part. You've got to coach and talk and teach so they know angle departure, style of defenses are getting, help, no help, re-go, getting the play started. It's all base fundamentals you got to just teach and teach and teach your guys. Good clip here. I think here's the right tackle. As you watch this, so as we get going here, he stretches. He knows he doesn't have him. He keeps climbing with his body. So as you look here, he's got it starting to get the long arm deal. I tell those guys, just keep climbing with the body. If we can break it down, if you can see the back of the elbow and lift, if you can club it down. But I want to keep my feet moving and eject him. I don't want to wall him. So I got to keep my feet running. So as he goes here, you watch, his legs never stop. And then there's the crease right here for the tailback. Okay? The center. I like a little more low drive. I don't like his backside hand, but he's talking about on the backside, we talk about ripping and running, getting the belly up the field. On the backside, when it's cut off, I just want my belly up the field on the good angle, right? So that I can cut this off, keep climbing over here, right? But there's the stretch, and then you see just the slight crease that he has because he kept his feet rolling. So the ejection point there wasn't necessarily body on the body. He got long arm, but he kept climbing with his feet and ejected him out of the play. So you see it again, the tailback has a crease to hit inside of the tackle. So there's the stretch, there's the puncture. All right, TCC. Okay, so we can talk TCC. It's really simple for us. When you're the uncovered guy in a stretch play, all right, we talk about these three things. And it's TCC. It's a base rule for them. I'm running to take that block over. So if I'm a center running to a 3 technique, right, and we're scooping with the play side guard in the center's thought is, I'm getting to that play side number. I'm running to take that block over, right? Because I'm joining the stretch. I'm on the front side now. Okay, that path should put him on the uncovered guy as I'm running to take that block over. If I can take it over, then great, take it over. Maybe the move came back inside. Maybe it's just some stun, or maybe it's just bad 3 technique play. I don't know. But he's taking the block over. So that's my path to start. If you start there, everything else takes care of itself. If I'm running and I can't take it over, then on my path, if there's any color looking there, I want to clean that color out as I climb to the backer. Okay? That path, we feel, puts you on the right path where you'll never be shallow to the second level. But you're running and start. It's not, I'm running, do I have them, don't I have them? No. Your mind as the uncovered guy is, I'm taking that block over. If I take it over, great. If I don't, I clean color and I climb. That won't get you shallow. That will get you on the right angle of departure, working to where you got to go to, right? So we talk uncovered guy, TCC. Take over, clean, and climb. Take over, clean, and climb, right? And you get into the drills. How do you drill it? Oh. Skip the drills. There we go. Uncovered, covered. He knows he's got a sideboard. He's protected inside, so he's wedge heel. He's running, trying to go now to the armpit. He doesn't need to about really stretch and eject, because if that guy goes inside, he's got a combo call. The uncovered guy is running to take that block over. So you see his path right now. Color's away. I'm not taking it over. Is there anything to clean? Clean it, and then get my eyes north to the linebacker. Okay? I don't believe in, I haven't done it in a long time, about counting steps. It's your 5th step. It's your 3rd step. I think if you give the kids just one simple thing, as we say, I'm going to take that block over, then he's running. And then you get a good feel. Am I running too far? Can I clean it? I don't need to chase to clean the color. If I'm going to take it over and he's disappeared, then great, we've got the stretch we wanted. I want to clean and climb, because the back's going to do what? He's going to upcut with me. Okay? So the track of ball, the pace of the play is going to help this. But once again, the uncovered guy, he's saying, I'm going to the play side number. I'm running to take that block over. That's what we're coaching him to do there. And then clean and climb. All right, so we see it here. You watch his eyes. Just working the right guard here. They got a little mugged up backer, but his path, he's not spooked by it. He's stepping, still checking, because he's like, we train him so much. He's running. That's why he verifies it's gone. Now look at his path. He ends up reaching the back, right? I'm sure the linebacker coach is telling him he needs to maintain his leverage and send it back in, but his path has given us this, so now he can clean and climb, and then there's the puncture point for the tailback. All right, backside cutoff, just something added into here too. All right, we talked about whether it be the center reaching, you're on a cutoff mode now. So now we're not on the front side, we're on the back side. So all we need to do is we're looking to cut off and then belly up the field and build the wall. So what we're trying to do is split the defense in half. You stretch the front side gaps, right, stretch, and then you cut off the back side so that there's the upcut for the back. Okay, so the back side, similar to what we did the stretch and eject, you put them nose up on the guy, and we just have them start here. And now you've got to train these guys that I'm running to gain leverage of them. And once I have it, then I belly up the field, right? A lot of things you get into is the guy takes 1-2 steps and then he tries to rip like he's ripping by. Shit, you may not cut him off until way over here. So that's why you got to talk about belly up the field leverage. Once I have it, belly up the field back on the good angle, right? So that back can hit on the front side. I don't just need to take 2 and turn, and then I'm running lateral, and then that guy beats me back over the top, right? So we just drill here, like I said, this is just good belly up the field fundamentals as we work. Backside cutoff, this is right guard here, running, belly, 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 belly. Looking to get belly up the field. There's the center here, low driving like we saw in the clip earlier. He's running, he's got it. Now I got to belly press back up the field. I don't want to just run by. Once I have the leverage, I want to keep it. I want to try to press that belly back up the field. Okay, so we just talk in terms of that on the backside cutoff. The other thing we talk about on the backside is, when am I going to run and cut them off, or when does I have to run and lock? Okay, so the same deal. My angle departure, if I'm a backside tackle and I'm trying to cut off a will linebacker that's already inside of me, I'm not blocking him over here. We just saw on the initial slide, stretch plays are stretch and puncture play side. So I've got to rip and run, and I'm thinking I'm blocking the guy across the formation. Some points, a 3 technique may cut and get in front of the guard, and now as I see that, I've got to feel that and continue to wrap around because I may come all the way around the play. So we just drill a little bit just on the back side of here. He's cutting off. He's thinking cut off to get to this backer. He may be able to come up through. There may be a little color hanging. As he goes, he may wrap around. The 3 technique may really squeeze in friction here. As the tackle's going, he feels him engaged, and it just kind of becomes a running lock call on the back side. Okay, so you see the guard here, or the tackle running. Got to get a better look by the backside backer, but here's the belly up the field. He's running. This would be just a good little cutoff on the backside. Now you go and run back again. Now I tighten the 3 up, and the 3's really running. He feels it. He's bellied up the field. The tackle's running to cut the 3 off. Well, the 3's cut off by the guard. Now he's just going to come around and wrap this thing. So am I running? Am I locking it? Am I making a lock call? I got to really feel this, right? Here's one here. We got a little confused with it, but it's a really good look of when we could have used it here. I just threw this one on here. The center goes. He's got him right now. If he's prying through and belly up the field and then the guard feels this, he's got it. Right now he turns back on it, so you can see 55 starts to wrap around, and then we kind of trick ourselves. So now we left the nose and we climbed on this thing. Low drive, rip through and climb, he's in my hip. If not, 55 is trying to work here to walking around. And we still end up getting a hit here, but should have been a lot more because we're running into the tailback. All right, so we should have drilled that a little more. All right, here's a good clip. We're running just an inside play to the right. It's a quick hitter, right? But now the backside guard knows I'm not going to get through on this thing. I need to lock this thing on my own, right? So we got a down block. We're pulling the guard or the center around. We're going to pull the guard around on this thing. But just watch his angle of departure. He knows I'm going to get pinched off. They've been moving. So he just makes a lock on the run on his own and then wraps around and gets to him on the front side. Okay? So once again, I think because we teach angle of departure, we track a ball, we teach the style of play, it gives these guys a tool in their toolbox to pull out saying, hey, I got to lock this thing on my own. Right? I don't need a combo call. I don't need a double team call. I know where I'm working to. And this last clip here. All right, so now we're running just pin and pull back to the field off of the stretch play. Okay, he's just going to make a lock call. So now the backside guard knows he's pulling because we've swapped with a lock call here. The center's back, the guard's pulling around. He's got to get away all the way around to the front side backer. You watch the backside tackle in this clip as well too. He knows I can't get through this. I got loser leverage right now. If we're nose up, I go to stretch. He sees stretch. He's over the top. He's gone. So he's going to work his own little lock mechanism on the backside to get around, and he's hunting him down. Now we lose the down block here on the 7 technique, or the 4i here, but you can see where the backside guard gets all the way around. Does he have him reach? No. So it's a pin and pull. Now it just turns into stretch and puncture. So there's the stretch, accelerate, there's the kick, and there's the puncture. Right? Just a good hard run, but we lose the backside tackle climbing through here, but he was going to come up and take 8, and then we'll probably come back behind him. Right? So just working and teaching angle departure, once again, is key. Having tools in their toolbox. This isn't a different play call. You may be breaking this film down saying, oh, is this a different style? No, it's the same style of play. They know what the style of play is, and they know based off angle departure. I can get there, I can't get there. Do I need help? How's my combo? How much help am I getting? Or do I need to make a whole other call where we just lock and swap guys? All right, so it's a good little hit by the backside, both guys on the backside getting around this thing. And ultimately, it's just a good run by the back, getting through the down block of the 7 technique. Turns into an X play for us. All right, so we're good there. So I hope you got a little bit out of this. This is new for a lot of us, I'm sure, clinic camera, but we don't overcomplicate anything here. I never have in my past, and all the way up to where we're at now, we teach in base fundamentals. And then every season, we cut it right back to the base fundamentals. We talk about generic double teams. We talk about angle departure. We drill and talk about all these things that I just showed you so that in week 2 it shows up. Hey, we've got that tool in the toolbox. So let's polish it up and bring it out for work. You put a couple more away. All right? We teach and we coach and we talk to our kids that way because you don't need to just go block plays. You need to execute fundamentals and techniques within whatever play is called. I firmly believe that. And so we teach and we coach that way with these guys. And so just a little bit of the double team generic stuff that we do. And I hope you grab something out of it that'll help 1, 2, 3, 10, I don't know. But something that can make your team better and make your program better too. For the high school coaches watching this, I always do this in my clinics. I'm the son of a high school head coach. You guys wear a lot of hats, man. You know, I tell this story every time, so if you've heard one of my clinics, and I apologize, you hear it again, but 9, 10 years old, I'm the ball boy, I get to go to the games with my dad all the time, and we just go and beat the #1 team in the state, kind of a rival, you know, down the road. We come back through town, we're driving in the buses, and police escort through town, and the caravan's coming, and people are honking and excited, and we get back to the stadium. We get in, the guys get in their cars with their girlfriends, their buddies take them home, some of their parents come picking up, everybody's hyped. And then me and my old man just kind of walk into the laundry room, and we get the, you know, the road jerseys there with the whites, and we put them in the big Rubbermaid barrels, and we put in the, whatever the OxyClean was at the time, you know, in the 90s, and we start filling it with water. And I just kind of remember sitting there like, man, like, why aren't we celebrating, right? But the head ball coach and some of the assistants, the high school guys, they're in there doing the laundry. They're getting their hands dirty after a big win before celebrating it, right? So I understand a lot of you guys wear a lot of different hats. I understand you do a lot of different jobs, a lot of thankless jobs, a lot of underpaid jobs, and it doesn't go unnoticed, okay? Coach your guys hard. Teach them fundamentals. Teach them the game, right? So that when they get to our level, right, we're not working with just a blank slate, but those guys have a good foundation, right? It's not just all about the show and the stars and the glitz and the recruiting component. It's really good for us to get guys on the field faster when they come from great programs that have been coached the right way. So if you're watching this, hopefully you're trying to get better. I know you are, and I appreciate that, what we do here too. So thanks for your time. Everybody be safe, and I appreciate it.